All right. Here we go. Week 3 discussion. So we have another comparison slash choose which one. So, which of the two figures you read about this week, John of Damascus or Anselm of Canterbury, most caught your attention and why? Be specific, use a quote. So for this week, I think that John of Damascus most caught my attention. He was referred to the last of the church fathers, um, and he uh, was also a monk during the time of the rise of Islam. So I thought that was interesting. Uh, so he agreed with the Chaldeans, okay, or the Chalcedonians, um, which we talked about last week. But what he's known most for is his defense of icons in religion. Uh, he states that icons enhance Christian religion, and he fought for it. And during that period of time, it went back and forth, where they were icons and idols were acceptable, and then they weren't, and then they were again. Um, so, uh, but the quote that I got that stuck out the most was worship passes on to the image represented by the icon, not the idol itself, um, which makes sense. So technically, they didn't see it as like a worship of idols. They saw it as just a representation of um, God or Jesus, and they thought that it was acceptable, or he thought that it was acceptable because God sent Jesus down, who actually did have a physical image that was represented, where before God didn't have a physical image. So there's nothing wrong with having a physical image to represent worshiping God. And it's about the worshiping of God himself and not about um, the image. So makes sense. That's why it stuck out to me the most. Another thing that stuck out was when he related himself to Moses, which I thought was kind of it was like a it was like humble but not humble, where he's like related, or Moses was said that when he was confronted with God in the burning bush, that he was unworthy of expressing God or representing God. Um, uh, John of Damascus said the same thing. He related to that aspect, but he said also that he recognizes that it needed to be done, so he's the one to do it, uh, which comes off as kind of prideful. I don't know. What is the meaning and relevant connection you can make between these figures? Um, and we learned this week. So, uh, so in the second lecture, we learned about Sacramentology, which is a symbol that points to something beyond itself, um, coming from the Greek word mysterion. And yeah, since he defended the use of icons in church to enhance the Christian religion, that had to do with the sacramentology and using symbols. So that's how it related to this week's lectures. And that is my time.